told your friend you're not okay.
Since news of the leak of BTS's V solo song rocked the K-pop community over the past few weeks, the public has been haunted by questions. Who exactly is the hacker who managed to penetrate HYBE's multi-layered system? How did a song that was supposed to be a personal, secret, and closely guarded project leak onto the internet so quickly? And most importantly, was this just a random attack or was someone specifically targeting Taehyung? While most ARMY suspected the perpetrator was a professional hacker from abroad, HYBE acted faster than expected. They not only strengthened their internal security systems but also deployed a digital forensic investigation team to trace every trace leading to the perpetrator. However, no one, not even internal staff, expected that the results of the investigation would ultimately lead them to a very difficult truth. The perpetrator who leaked V's solo song was actually someone who was once very close to Taehyung. This information first emerged from an internal source who expressed shock when they discovered that the IP address and system access patterns indicated activity from someone with a close personal relationship with the BTS member. It wasn't a HYBE employee, a former employee, or a paid hacker, but someone from Taehyung's own circle. A friend with whom V shared stories, shared dreams, and even became a part of his memories long before Taehyung's name was known worldwide. This truth hit like a storm. Not only for HYBE, but also for Taehyung, known for being warm, loyal, and trusting of those around him. For years, fans had always seen how Taehyung maintained relationships with his friends outside the industry, nurturing connections in a sincere and genuine manner. However, it was this sincerity that now turned into a loophole exploited by someone he trusted. According to the investigation, the perpetrator began accessing the system indirectly by exploiting small pieces of information he gleaned from casual conversations with Taehyung in the past. The information may seem trivial, not something considered sensitive. However, in the world of cybersecurity, even the smallest gap can become a major doorway if exploited by someone with a specific purpose. The motive remains uncertain, but some suspect it stems from long-held jealousy and emotional distress, especially after seeing Taehyung become increasingly successful, busy, and less interacting with him than before. The situation allegedly left his friend feeling abandoned, leading him to plan this attack as a way to vent and prove he still had control over something important to Taehyung. Even more shocking, the attack apparently targeted not only song files, but also a special, still secret HYBE project. The project is believed to be related to Taehyung's larger solo release, including visual concepts, behind-the-scenes footage, and strategic plans for international promotions. If a project of this magnitude were to leak, the impact could ruin months of HYBE's preparations, trigger financial losses, and cause chaos within the creative team. HYBE reportedly immediately took extreme action, cutting off all old access points, replacing the entire security system, and even preparing legal action against the perpetrator. But the most painful thing wasn't the material loss or reputational damage, it was the reality of Taehyung having to face betrayal from someone he once considered a brother. According to a leaked report from an internal staff member, Taehyung was devastated when he learned the perpetrator's identity. Although he hasn't revealed anything publicly, those close to him say he needs time to process everything. Taehyung is known for keeping his emotions under control, but this kind of betrayal is certainly not something he can easily ignore. Moreover, the leaked song was part of his personal creative process, something he made with sincerity and heart. In the midst of this situation, ARMY has shown remarkable unity. They have voiced their support for Taehyung, organized campaigns to prevent the spread of illegal files, and urged the public to continue respecting the artist's work. Even some fans with backgrounds in digital security have helped draw attention to the importance of protecting idols' creative materials, no matter how much curiosity they may feel. After the perpetrator's identity was finally revealed as Taehyung's close friend, the wave of emotions that gripped the public seemed unstoppable. While previously ARMY felt only anger and loss, those feelings now shifted to a mixture of pity, betrayal, and disbelief that someone who had been by Taehyung's side for years could do something so cruel. However, the harsh reality could no longer be undone. HYBE has confirmed a personal relationship between the perpetrator and V, and the investigation has now entered a much more complex stage, as it is no longer simply a digital crime case but also touches on psychological, emotional, and even moral issues. Further analysis revealed that the perpetrator did not act spontaneously. He had planned everything for months, observing the recording process, following internal rumors about V's solo project, and then strategizing how to infiltrate the system without arousing suspicion. Even more shocking, the perpetrator had already collected several pieces of secondary data related to HYBE's grand plans for the release of V's solo album, which was supposed to be a global hit next year. He used his past relationship with Taehyung as a key to understanding the idol's habits, including how Taehyung stored work files, his communication habits, and several small details that others would normally never consider important. The deeper HYBE dug, the clearer it became that the song leak was just the beginning of something much bigger. The perpetrator was actually planning to sell several internal documents, including unannounced visual concepts, music video storyboards, and a list of international collaborations planned to be released in conjunction with V's post-military comeback project. This wasn't just an act of emotional revenge, it was a strategic move with the potential for significant profit. However, the plan didn't go smoothly. When HYBE increased digital surveillance and noticed a gap in suspicious activity, the perpetrator panicked and decided to release some of the files as pressure, hoping the agency wouldn't pursue the investigation. However, this haste led to his identity being discovered quickly. Meanwhile, Taehyung, who is currently serving his military service, reportedly received the report from his management privately. Insiders said that V needed time to calm down and process the reality that someone he once considered family would use their past closeness to attack him. Although he tried to remain calm and carry out his military duties as usual, some of his close colleagues noticed subtle changes in his demeanor. He was quieter, more cautious, and spent more time alone during breaks. No one knew his true feelings, but it was clear that this kind of betrayal was not something a soft heart like his could easily swallow. Meanwhile, HYBE began preparing for more stringent legal action. They not only collected digital evidence pointing to the perpetrator but also compiled a legal report to ensure that this action met with appropriate consequences. However, the situation was not that simple. Because the perpetrator had a personal relationship with Taehyung, some feared that the media would take the opportunity to sway public opinion, create additional rumors, or overhype the story, which could have a more damaging impact on Taehyung. That's why HYBE chose to proceed with extreme caution, being firm with the perpetrator, but still protecting Taehyung's privacy to avoid unnecessary media drama. Amidst the panic and alarm, what was most impressive was the global response of ARMY, who showed even more solidarity. Not only did they call for an end to the spread of illegal files, but they also created hundreds of thousands of posts supporting Taehyung, with hashtags that immediately trended globally. Even the cybersecurity community ARMY stepped in, educating fans about the importance of information security, both for idols and fans, and encouraging the public to better respect artists' creative space. But what really got people talking was how this case began to open a broader discussion about the pressures faced by major artists like Taehyung. Many industry analysts have noted that the higher an idol reaches in their career, the more vulnerable they are to attacks, manipulation, and betrayal from those who feel marginalized or unable to accept the artist's life changes.